I'm going to try and do today is give you like a framework that we can work within to create all our videos and actually increase our reach, visibility, and impact. Which is some of the values that HD Creative, the company that started, was actually sort of built on. But what we do now will actually affect everything that we do going forward, because if you have the framework, you could literally create endless content ideas and endless video contents based on this particular framework. Now, I came up with this framework a while ago, and feel free to like rename this because it's like terribly named, but we'll work with it. But that framework actually got kind of shot to pieces really by ChatGPT, which has actually made the process in some ways a lot easier. It'll save you a ton of time now. People have different views on ChatGPT and how it should be used. I'm not going to go too deep into that. That said, it can help speed up the process, and most coaches who are creating video content will be using it. So if you want to speed up your process and obviously keep up with the volume of content that's going to be coming out in the next few months using this stuff, it's probably worth using it in bits. So we'll kind of touch on that as well. A quote that I love, I don't know who said this, I read it somewhere: if you show up and are the same as everybody else, then your message is going to get lost in the sea of sameness that is social media. Social media, like, you realise how vast it actually is. I've just got back from the Caribbean and America a few months ago, and you realise when you're in these different places, like, how vast it actually is, and the different corners of the internet that you can reach, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into that because I think people can get somewhat mixed messages when it comes to reach, because people think it's like garnering tens of millions of views, or, you know, getting 20 million views on a video going viral or whatever. And that can happen from time to time, and that's great. But really with reach is basically just getting in front of the right people that you can help, and that can help you drive your business forward. That said, social media can feel like a bit of a black hole at times, and it's unfair at times, and it becomes overwhelming, and sometimes you just want to get out of it and just like log off, like listening to what we said before about kind of getting banned off Instagram can be a blessing in disguise sometimes. But on one side of it, you got like people who are living like the highest flying lives going. Nice picture of The Rock there. Everyone loves The Rock. Everyone loves The Rock, yeah. But you can see the sort of like the difference between the highly successful people online and like ordinary people, which is like me. Which is a very dodgy selfie, or me doing my best Rock impression. But what it does is it builds a narrative in our head that we need to live these like sexy, rich, famous, crazy, cool lives that other people are doing. On a smaller level, we can just get caught up in comparison with other coaches. We see these coaches who are making 10k months and 20k months and doing all these crazy things and living laptop lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. And we can start to like compare ourselves, which is actually where we don't want to be. And that's simply not true, especially if you're in the game for business-related impact like we are. We've all got coaching businesses, we're all coaches who gather on and make an impact. But that feeling is fueled by and fueling imposter syndrome. Now, these are just things that I'm not a psychologist in any way. These are just things I've noticed with my clients and through coaching and through video content. It gives you a reason why you shouldn't do something versus why you should. You know, like getting in front of camera, it kind of gives you that reason. Oh, I'm not going to do that because it's never going to be as good as someone else's. And it kind of just gets that grip on you, where to the point where you put it off and put it off and put it off, to the point where actually nothing ever gets done, and you should have started it 6 months ago. Someone said something to me, and it really rung true. It's like, if you think about where you were 6 months ago, it's exactly where you should be now. But you just put it off thinking, oh, I'll start in January or whatever. But actually you could have started it 6 months ago and been a lot further along. So if you aren't creating as many videos as you want, actually just getting started. I was speaking to Brett before. About 8 years ago, I made my first YouTube video. I think it was like making protein porridge. And my voice doesn't even sound the same. It's like totally embarrassing. It might still be up there somewhere. I don't actually know. But it's governed and predicated by fear. Now, the the people that win with video are the ones that create and publish content in spite of fear. That means getting on camera, putting the message out, overcoming that fear of being judged and all that other stuff that we might run into. The fear can be split into 5 major feelings on the fear rocket. Don't ask me what the other 3 are. But I'm going to use the final 2, which I think ring true for us as coaches, and possibly our clients as well. So hopefully you get some value for this. The first one is people will judge us or won't accept us. So we put a piece of content out, gets a few nasty comments or whatever, some judgmental comments. It might even be friendly in your mates' WhatsApp groups where you start to get ribbed a bit for a piece of content you put out. I've definitely been there before, and it makes you want to not put the content out. So once we kind of realise this is the stuff that can actually get us from zero to actually making content and getting in front of the people that we want to impact. And the other one is we won't live up to our own expectations, and this comes back to the comparison thing of actually X person is making these videos and they look awesome, and actually I'm not going to make a video ever as good as that. But the truth is, people want connection. People are scared as you are, and people want you to win. People don't want you to fail. At the end of the day, people need our help. We're coaches for a reason. People need our help, and we can help them win through the content, and we can give that massive value add to them. And usually, the people who give the biggest value add through content are the ones that win. People just want you to be real. They don't want this big company facade. They just want a real person, and you are that person. But that said, there is a lot of people doing what you do, and it's very easy to blend in with the penguins. But when you're on your purpose and are a real person who cares deeply about your people, you stand out. A kind of a woo term, purpose and all that kind of stuff. Well, I thought it was, but actually, when you really think about it, you can stand out if you really focus on it. I think these are just some questions that I constantly just kind of go over for myself, and I think can be of value. I'm not going to touch on this too much, but what are you actually passionate about? What are your values? Why would someone choose you over anyone else? Think about this stuff, because this is good for like positioning and all that kind of stuff. Why are you different? And what is your backstory? We can sort of give people that information.